Bill. Good morning and welcome. I hope everyone had a wonderful July 4th, safe one, and you did something really fun. And we're so glad that you decided to join with us today. And I always like to start off with our vision and our mission statement here at Unity of Orange County. Our vision is centered in divine love. We joyfully co create a world that works for all. And our mission is to awaken, inspire, and transform lives. So I would like to thank all the people that are making today possible. Bill on piano, and Tom on sound, and Christopher on camera. And we have John and Waverly and Matthew working on the video. And Reverend Allison is our prayer platform person today. So we're glad that you're all here. Today we're having a Zoom fellowship. And the Zoom number that was sent by email is 817-3050-4020, and that will start at 11 o'clock. Next week, we are having the fellowship in the park. And if you were there the last time, you know it's a beautiful park. It's Santa Victoria Park. I will send out an email with the instructions during the week. We had a great time. We also have coming this Tuesday our metaphysical interpretation of the Bible. If you think that the Bible isn't for you, you have to come join us in our class and our Zoom number is on the calendar. It is really interesting what interpretation you can get from the Bible. And then on Sunday, July 19th at noon, we're also having a Zoom book club on Joshua, a parable for today. And this book is about what would Jesus think if he came back to our world today. It's very interesting. And we would like to remind you that if you shop on Amazon and you list Unity of Orange County as your charity, for everything that you spend under Amazon Smile, we get a small percentage. So we really appreciate you doing that. And if you've been enjoying our videos, we hope that you would not only like us on the YouTube channel, but that you would hit the subscribe button. And to remind you that you can text any gifts that you want to give to Unity of Orange County through 77977. And the message is Unity of OC Give. And one other thing, I'm asking that you send me a photo. If you're someone who normally comes to the church, send me a photo of yourself. Or even if you've never come to the church, send me a photo of yourself to minister@unityoforangecounty.org. And we're going to put them on the chairs. So when the people, like I'm standing up here, I can look out and see all your smiling faces. And so now I would like to welcome our Reverend Allison for the daily word and the prayer and meditation.
Good morning. And the daily word for today, Sunday, July 5th, 2020, is comfort. Christ in me is my comfort. Experiences that move me out of my comfort zone are part of my life. The first day at a new school, starting or leaving a job, a new phase in a relationship, retiring from a career, the passing of a loved one. Any change can evoke discomfort, even grief. I grieve when I think of change as loss, a loss of security, loss of my place in the community, or a loss of love. The Christ, the divine, the presence of life, love, and wisdom within me is my constant source of comfort through all of life's changes. I find assurance that although its physical expression may change, life can never end. And I know oneness and love with all who have been dear to me. Recognizing my divine nature, I know that there is no loss, no change, or no circumstance that can limit me, and I am comforted. And the scripture today is from Psalm 71:21. You will increase my my honor, and comfort me once again. Now I just invite you to get ready for our meditation. And this weekend, at least in the United States, is a weekend we usually celebrate our freedom. So I invite you today to join me in a meditation that frees ourselves from things that are no longer serving us. So go ahead and find a comfortable position and begin to just do that wonderful slow and deep breathing of inhaling and exhaling. And as you continue concentrating on that breathing, if you so choose, take these words as your own. Today, I release anything that is unlike the perfection that I was created to be. I am free from worry. I am free from doubt. I am free from fear. I am free from discord. I am free from disease. I am free from anger. I am free from depression. I am free from anxiety. I am free from anything that limits my growth. I am free from judgment about myself or others. I am free of my need to be right. I am free of anything unlike the perfection in which I was created. I declare my freedom and I celebrate my truth. This day and always, I let freedom ring in my heart and in my mind. And now I invite you to, as you spend a few moments in the silence, to just think of anything else that you would like to be free from.
morning again. So today we're going to continue on the 12 powers, and today's power is order. So if you remember, the 12 powers are the powers that is within us. They're aspects of God's power that is within each of us. So this power of order is within us. But when you think of the word order, you're probably thinking about the order around you. So you might even be thinking of Marie Kondo. That's the lady, the Japanese lady who wrote all those books and tapes about getting your life in order. So most of my life, I really have not been an orderly person. You know, I tend to, if you saw my desk, I thought about taking a picture of my desk for you, but I just thought it was too upsetting. I didn't want to upset anybody. But anyway, so one time I decided that I was going to get this book and I was going to get my life in order. And I bought the book, and she talks about getting everything out of your drawers and your closets and putting them in these piles. Well, I live in a very small space. I live in an RV. So I emptied everything out. There's very little floor space. And I had it all on the bed, and I had it on these piles, and I'm starting to go through it, and I'm getting really tired, and it's getting really late. Now I have all this stuff on my bed. So what do? I throw it all back into the closet, throw it all back into the drawers. It's worse mess than it was when I started. So I decided that maybe I just wasn't designed to be that kind of person. But I was taught many years ago by someone who taught me meditation and was also my therapist, that when we can't, sometimes we need to get our life in the external order in order to get our insides in order. In other words, when we live in chaos, we tend to sometimes be in chaos. And so I'm very conscious of the fact that it's important that the outside be in order. But it's really interesting about order. So if you look at the universe, God created this world, the natural world, in perfect order. Everything that happens is there for a reason. Animals have this innate sense of order. They internally know what is theirs to do, when it is theirs to do it, the time and all of that. And so an interesting creature that really shows this is the monarch butterfly. So the monarch butterfly has an interesting life. It's has a very small life, and it has these 4 lifetimes within a lifetime. So it's considered the king of the butterflies because it's probably the most beautiful. So the 4 stages are the egg, the larvae or the caterpillar, the pupa or the chrysalis, and the adult butterfly. So the 4 generations are actually 4 different butterflies going through these 4 stages during 1 year until it is time to start all over again. So 1 lifetime is actually 4 butterflies make up 1 lifetime. So in February and March, the final generation of the butterflies comes out of hibernation to find a mate. They then migrate north and east in order to find a place to lay their eggs. And this starts stage 1. So stage 1 and generation 1 of the new year for the monarch butterfly. So in March and April, the eggs are laid on milkweed plants, and they hatch into baby caterpillars. And then it takes about 4 days for these eggs to hatch. And then the baby caterpillar doesn't do much more other than eat milkweed in order to grow. It's the only thing that they eat. And after about 2 weeks, the caterpillar will be fully grown and find a place to attach itself so it can start the process of metamorphosis. It attaches itself to a stem or a leaf using silk, and it transforms into a chrysalis. And though it looks from the outside that nothing is happening, the 10 days of the chrysalis phase is really a time of rapid change. Within the chrysalis, the old body parts of the caterpillar are undergoing a remarkable transformation to become beautiful parts that make up the butterfly that emerges. The monarch butterfly emerges and flies away, feeding on flowers and enjoying the short life that it has, which is only about 2 to 6 weeks. This first generation of monarch butterfly then dies after laying eggs for generation number 2. And then the second generation of monarch butterflies is born in May and June, and the third is born in July and August. And these generations go through the same thing that the first generation went to. But the fourth generation of the monarch butterfly is a little different. It is born the same way. It is born in September and October. It goes through the same process of the caterpillar and the chrysalis and going through that metamorphosis, except this generation of monarch butterflies migrates to warmer climates like Mexico and Southern California, and they live for 6 to 8 months until it's time to start the whole process over again. So it's amazing how these 4 generations of monarch butterflies work out so that the monarch butterfly population can continue throughout the years but not become overpopulated. It's nature's way of kind of doing something. But the monarch butterfly is in trouble. In fact, their numbers are down 90%. And correspondingly, their numbers are down 90%, and the milkweed plant that they feed on is also down 90%. Because what has happened is, although the monarch butterfly has this perfect order built into it, it knows exactly what to do, where to go, even though it's all these different generations. What has happened is the humans have come in and they have gotten rid of most of the milkweed fields, and they put highways and they put buildings. And so the disorder that has happened externally for the monarch butterfly, which is caused by human, it's not caused by nature, it's caused by human beings, has caused disorder within the monarch butterfly. And so that is what happens to us. When we live sometimes in a world of disorder, it upsets our internal order. And we can certainly see that now. We live in a world of disorder. Between the COVID and all the racial problems and the political, everything that is going on in our world today has created some type of disorder. And what that has done is it has created a disorder within many people. Many people are feeling depressed, they're feeling uneasy, they're feeling uncomfortable, they don't know what to do with life. In fact, it's more difficult now for them than it was when we were all quarantined, because now they're out and about in a world that looks very different. And because of this, we find we have trouble with the internal order. Now, the faculty of order is found in the navel. And what the internal faculty of order is, it is the ability to have harmony, to have balance, to be able to understand sequence, and to be able to adapt. So when we have internal order, we find that we have balance in our life. We find that we have harmony with our surroundings and the people around us. We find that we can adapt. And we find that we can learn. Sequence is learning from the past to be able to understand our present better. It's a wonderful example of this is in the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. In the movie, Indiana Jones, who is this archaeologist, adventurer, if you haven't seen any of the movies, and it always involves Nazis, it seems. They always involve Nazis. Anyway, the Nazis are after the chalice, this holy chalice, and in order to get Indiana Jones to get it for them, they shoot his father. And the only way he can save his father is to get this chalice. But the only way he can get this chalice is if he knows the lessons that have been given to him all along the way. And you see, that's what happens to us in life. We are given a challenge in life. And the way that we deal with that challenge is by seeing how everything that has happened to us in our life up to that point helps us to deal with that challenge. That's the ability to sequence. And of course, the ability to adapt is to be able to adapt as the world changes. Unfortunately, animals have a harder time of doing that than humans. And that's because humans were given free will. And we talked about will last week. This is something that human beings have, the animals don't have. And we can use that will to help us adapt to a changing world. Certainly the world we're in now is changing. And then there's harmony. Harmony is the ability to be in the flow with the universe, to be in the flow with people around us. And it's this harmony that we have within. And then, of course, balance is the ability to balance the different aspects of our life. So when we think of order, we can think of it externally, or we can think of it internally. But no matter whether you tend to live your life in disorder or order, we need balance. So there was a TV show years ago, it was remade, called The Odd Couple. And it's about these two guys, best friends, Felix and Oscar. And Felix gets kicked out of his house by his wife, so he moves in with Oscar. Well, Felix is this neat freak. He is like order to the extreme. Everything is in its place. Everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be clean. Everything has to be done exactly at the right time. And he moves in with Oscar. Now, Oscar is the complete opposite. His house is a mess. His life is a mess. He is a mess. His dress is a mess. And so there they are, these two opposites. And it seems like they wouldn't be able to live together. But the interesting thing is that even though they're so different, they find a way to live together. And for most of us, we have these two sides within us. We may seem like we are an orderly person, or we may seem like we're a disorganized person, but most of us really have a combination of all of that together. Because if we don't, what we find, if we are truly a person who lives a life that's disorderly, we are disorderly within. We have trouble with all of that stuff, the balance, the harmony, the ability to adapt. And if we're someone who is too organized, too orderly, we often are people who try and control everybody and everything around us. And we know that we cannot control anyone or anything around us. We can create order in our own lives, but we can't create order in someone else's life. We cannot force somebody else to do something that they don't want to do. So having order within is really important. You know, we hear the word divine order, but divine order is about God's divine order. That's the order that we see in nature. To me, divine order is the way the butterflies know what to do in their life when they are not disturbed by humankind. So we have to ask ourselves, how can we bring better order into this world? Certainly, there's something we all can do. And sometimes it's just speaking up. And sometimes it's hard to speak up. So last week I had a friend call me, and she'd had something happen to her. She doesn't live in this area, and she was really upset. And she started going on about how ridiculous all this racial stuff is, and she's so tired of it. And she was just saying things, and my insides were just being torn because it was so upsetting to me what she was saying. And every part of me wanted to just scream and yell at her. And for whatever reason, I didn't. And when I hung off the phone, I thought, you know, I should have said something. You see, when we stand by and we don't say something and we don't do anything, then we are contributing to the disorder in our world. We have to be able to stand up for what we believe, to be able to see what needs to be healed, and then to work on healing it. And when we don't do that, we are actually helping create more disorder in our world. So I invite you to ask yourself this question: what can I do this week that will help create a more orderly world on the outside? What can I do to create the order that's within me and take it and help create more order on the outside? So close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And just to go within. The universe, God, is calling to each of us to be the light that we were created to be. to stand up for what we see is wrong in the world so that it can be corrected, to not allowing things to go by and have us not say anything. Desmond Tutu said, "We are the only light bulbs, and our job is to stay screwed in." So I ask you to ask yourself, how can you stay screwed in? Screwed into the natural order of the world, screwed into the divine order that is all around us and within us, and how we can use that to change our world for the better. Sometimes it isn't easy, and sometimes it seems like it's easier to be quiet, but it never is. The crimes of the world, whether they be here in this country or Nazi Germany or South Africa or any of the many places where terrible things are being done to people, happen because people stood by and did nothing and said nothing. The harder it is for us to live the harder it is for us to have a world of order, the more difficult it is for us to have internal order. So what is it that we can do? We are a light bulb in this universe. We are God's light bulbs. And it is up to us to shine that light and to bring order, not only back into our own lives, but into the world around us. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, Bill. Here at Unity, we have 5 basic principles, and we like to review them each week just to remind us what they are, in case you're new to Unity, so you can know a little bit about what we here are at Unity. And the first one is, God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. And the second one is, I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. And the third one is, I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. And the fourth is, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And the fifth is that I do and give my best by living the truth that I know I make a difference. And we do make a difference. Every person makes a difference in this world. And I know that you make a difference in this church. And one of the ways that you make a difference is through your gifts. And we appreciate the gifts. There are many ways that you could donate to Unity of Orange County. You can do it on our website by clicking the donate button. You can go and text it to 77977 and put Unity of OC Give. Or you could go and download our app. Just go to My Church, PushPal on your app program, whether it be iPhone or Android, and then just put Unity of Orange County, and then you have our app, and you can give through the app. And you can mail your gifts. Our address is on our website. So we really appreciate any way that you give. And we'd like to remind you that we are having fellowship today after the service at 11 o'clock. And the ID for Zoom is 817-3050-4020. We hope you join us. And we always like to close with our prayer for protection. So wherever you are, we invite you to pray with us as we say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And wherever you are, God is, and all is well. And God bless. Have a wonderful week.